This is the Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with head coach Ryan Day and former OSU All-American Jim Lachey, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
And thanks for joining us again for our weekly show with Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. Buckeyes will be back at home hosting Nebraska on the homecoming weekend here in Columbus. Coach, always good to see you. Thanks for your time. And if you would, you've talked about your schedule and your routine, but coming out of a bye weekend, getting into a game week, how did you go transitioning from that weekend into the week this week?
We got everybody back here Sunday. There was times in the past where, we would, kind of get everybody back in town on Sunday, but then maybe get out there on Monday. We tried to keep the routine the same way, so we got everybody back here Sunday, got back on the field, got going a little bit there, and then we had a normal Tuesday, Wednesday practice this week.
What does that Sunday look like practice-wise? Is it just kind of, going through some situations or getting ready, with all the preparation you have for the plays and stuff for the week? Yeah,
usually a Sunday, we're out there, and we got a few periods of individual, and then we jump into corrections from the game before. We work our kickoff there, and then jump into some more kickoff. Then we get back out there and start to introduce the next opponent. We'll work on 2-minute, a few other situations. Then we really get the bunch of young guys some reps at the end. We let the older guys get in. A little bit different coming off of a bye week. We'll work on the opponent a little bit more than we typically would.
Would you get any of that opponent stuff done, at least in a mild manner, even last week before going into the weekend?
On Thursday, yeah, we did on Thursday, but Tuesday, Wednesday was more, just corrections and things that we needed to get cleaned up and addressed, and then obviously getting a bunch of young guys work, or guys that we're going to need to have see on the field here in the second half of the season.
Getting ready for Nebraska, you can start on Thursday, but then you want to see them play on Saturday, because that's what that last final game is what you're going to go off of, and you got a chance to watch that game against Indiana, and they kind of ran into a buzzsaw there and got behind, had to throw the ball, and that kind of led to some problems too for them.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a great indication of what team's going to be in here on Saturday. They played good football. They're a good team, and there's a lot of things that went into play. It looks like going into that game. I told the team, I said, if you want to look at that game, you can, but that's not what's going to be coming in here on Saturday. These guys, it was a tough game for them, and so coming in here, they're going to be playing really, really hard. They've played really good football up to that point. And so I know that they're going to be coming in here playing hard.
Had to be exciting for some of the guys to get more reps, like you said last week and going into this week, that don't normally do that. There's some folks that, not specifically naming names, but guys that kind of opened your eyes and you're able to see some of the progress they've made.
Yeah. There's guys that are going to have to step up and play. You saw Zen had to do that. He's going to have to do that again on Saturday. Guys like Cade McDonald are going to have to step up for us inside. You're seeing KJ and Cade get on the field much more. Mitch. That's going to be important. Arvell Reese getting a bunch of reps now in base personnel and even in the back end.
A lot of people at midseason, you guys are right at midseason now, the midseason grade, so to speak. But I'll tell you what, Will Howdy's last couple games completing over 80% of his balls. He's really starting to find a groove running this offense.
Well, he did some really good things in the game against Oregon, and certainly came up short. And the number one goal for all of us is to win. So when you come up short like that, it's a failure. And so, we all have to chew on that. But when you go back and watch some of the things that went in there, to see him play the way he did and operate the way he did in that environment is good. I think it builds confidence in the staff. It builds confidence in him and the entire offense, the entire team, knowing that he can play like that. And that's going to be important as we move forward, because we're going to find ourselves in more of those games the second half of the season.
He certainly seems to be one of those guys, even with all of the football that he's played, that he still wants to learn. Is that a fair read?
Yeah. This is a new offense for him. He's, I think really grasping what we're doing and really getting in here, putting the work in on Sunday, Monday, getting ahead, getting his eyes on what we're trying to get done. He has got his own thoughts, which is good too. He knows and played a lot of football, so that's good. He can give us some feedback on what he sees, what he likes. And that helps when you're trying to put a game plan together when you have a mature quarterback.
And bringing the running ability, 5 touchdowns now in the year running the football, and we're just not kind of used to that here at Ohio State. But that's nice to have that feature with Will and the ability to do it and get in the end zone.
Well, that was coming off of last year when you start the new season. You wanted to make sure that you have the ability to make a difference with your legs at the quarterback position, and that was a big part of it. So all of our guys can do that now, and you can see how it makes an impact.
No, there's a lot of elements involved, but is that what has led in large part to the success that teams had in the red zone?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it. There's always the safety comes out of the sky. Now he's towards the line of scrimmage at linebacker level, so the numbers equated. So you got to equate numbers, and the ability for him to actually do it and pull it or hand it off, or actually +1 runs, and then one-on-one throws, and so all those things have to come into play.
Your red zone success has been fabulous. I think you're 26 for 26. One of the few teams that's scored every time in that red zone. And you talked about the quarterback's legs. That obviously has to play into that factor there.
No, it does. Yeah, I mean, just the pure numbers is how it works. So. Yeah, we're going to need that. We're going to need touchdowns when we get down in the red zone. It's a huge part of winning the situations down there. Same thing on defense. We've got to win in the red zone. I mean, there's a lot of areas you got to win, and the areas that we've really honed in on, especially coming off the last game, is turnovers. You got to win the turnover battle. We said it over and over again. Coaches say it till they're blue in the face, but it's true. So we got to take care of the football. We got to win, the rushing yards. You got to stop the run, and you got to run the ball. That's it. So we're just going to keep hammering that home. I thought we had a good week of practice and continue to work on those things. And then obviously the X plays. Now, we actually won the X plays in that game, but we gave up too many explosive plays. We gave up 10 explosive plays. We had 11. And so, you're not going to win games when that happens. And so, it's been addressed. We've worked through that. We're focused on moving forward. But all of those situations come into play, whether it's third down or 2-minute red zone. But we know those red zone trips are going to be important for us, even in this week when we start against Nebraska.
In that last game, we saw Sonny Styles with I believe it was 9 tackles he had, which was a career high. How's he done with adjusting from safety to linebacker the way he's played?
Playing faster, playing quicker. He puts the work in. He cares a lot. He's seeing it and communicating well, and I think he's diagnosing plays faster and faster.
Leading tackler for Ohio State with 39 tackles and over 100 for his career, and just seeing him come in there and kind of get thrown in. Young guy, last year at safety, now at linebacker, and really starting to understand the whole system. And, like you said, having that experience of playing deep, taking that, up close to the line of scrimmage, he's been effective. I think the first couple of games, maybe feeling his way around, but that hadn't been the case these last 4.
No, you can see just how when you watch a linebacker and their feet are moving quick and they're showing up at the point of attack faster, diagnosing things quicker, dropping into zones faster. He's playing a good pad level. He's showing up and being aggressive at the point of attack. So all those things are good signs, and you're seeing them play that way.
If you have a question for Coach Day, you can submit it to our Union Home Mortgage inbox at OhioStateBuckeyes.com and click on Ryan Day Show inbox. Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com, and equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. The Foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State home football game this season, with proceeds supporting community-based NIL opportunities and the Foundation charities. For more information on how you can participate, visit OSU5050.com. Saturday, Ohio State hosts Nebraska. Will be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 10:30 a.m. More of today's show presented by Roosters, and we continue on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace. Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
We can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
It is time to square off against overpriced family dinners with Donato's all-new bakery crust pizza. A square-cut, thicker bakery-style crust with smoked provolone cheese and Donato's fresh toppings, plus your choice of marinara, ranch, or garlic sauce for dipping. The crust is thicker, but the deal is the kicker. Right now, you can get 2 one-topping bakery crust pizzas for just $19.99. It's a whole lot of pizza for not a lot of dough. Order with the app or at Donatos.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This is Ohio State head football coach Ryan Day, asking you to help provide 2 million meals to feed our community. Just round up at the register today. Every dollar provides 10 meals for neighbors in need. Get in the game and let's tackle hunger.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back to this week's show with Ohio State coach Ryan Day. Time for our 2 Deep report presented by Elk. And Elk, serious fans of Ohio State athletics, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Go Bucks. And 2 Deep really affected on the offensive line. You've talked about it quite a bit. Zen Mahalski will replace Josh Simmons. But, you've talked, Coach, about earlier in the summer, a lot of your backup offensive linemen had to take a lot of significant reps. Is that something that's kind of paid off now with depth?
Yeah. And I thought Zen, fought pretty hard in the game, and so now he's got an opportunity to prepare like a starter in this game. And they bring multiple fronts and different looks, so he'll get challenged in this game, and they come hard on defense. So, but he's earning the respect of his teammates every day in practice. Has done that before, and I think we had mentioned before that there was a little bit of an illness that went on during the preseason camp, and so a bunch of guys got thrust into positions, and Donovan missed some time, so a bunch of guys had to go in there and play. And so although early on it wasn't that clean, I think it really helped our depth as we knew we may be in this situation. Certainly it hurts to lose Josh, who's becoming a very, very good player, so it's a big loss for us. But great opportunity for Zen, and a bunch of us really trusting what he's been doing in practice and looking forward to seeing him play.
Yeah, when Don was out, Austin Sarabelt came in, and he did a really good job inside, and he had a little bit of playing time against Oregon. I think Tegra looked like maybe his back or something was bothering him out there, but able to get him in there to go in and play again. He's ready now because he had those 2 games and had that experience, and you hope the same for Zen. He's ready now because he got a chance to get his feet wet, and now going into it, he's had 2 weeks to get ready for his first start. So there's a lot of, film preparation, things like that, studying the opponent, understanding what you're trying to do that he can take with him.
That's it. And, it's one thing when, you're coming in that role, but now as you become the starter, there's more that comes with that. And I think he's looking for that, opportunity. He's been in the program now for a while. He's put his work in, and so now it's time to go to work. And I think the confidence that you put in practice blocking against our defensive ends every day should give them great amount of confidence to be able to go do it in the game, and the fact that he did it, in a tough environment. Was it everything perfect last week or a couple weeks ago against Oregon? No, but that the environments aren't going to get much more difficult than that. In that moment where you really weren't, ready to go play in the game in terms of the preparation all week, other than getting the 2 reps, but to be able to step in and do like that's got to give him confidence coming into this game.
Yeah, snap count, assignment, and then go trust your technique. Go play football. Pad level, things like that. Your third tackle, I'm sure it's George is going to be the guy that's going to step in, and you always got to continue to work on depth. When your depth gets tested, you have to add more depth behind that. Yeah,
and every day is an opportunity to go earn the respect of their teammates and earn an opportunity and trust with the coaches. So these guys, every day in practice are doing that. We're not doing that. And so, when, we put somebody in the game, we've seen the body work leading up to that point. Maybe the fans haven't, but we have as coaches and players. And that's important. That's part of power of the unit to make sure that, guys understand that, when they're in practice, they're trying to earn their respect and earn the respect of the coaches and the players so that they have an opportunity to play. And, it's not just going to be given to them. They got to go earn it.
For those of us that haven't been there, who makes the calls? Is it the center that makes the calls and passes it down to the guards and tackles, or is it a combination of some of those individuals?
Yeah, the center is the one who gets up there and identifies what the front is and what's going on and where they're working and starts the calls from there. And then the communication goes across the board in terms of, what the double teams are or those types of things, and communicates those things and protections. But they all got to be on the same page.
Yeah, it usually comes guard. If it's loud on the road, usually guard to tackle. You got a tight end come over. There's some communication to him. Make sure you're on the same page. And, once you start playing, then you like to do some fake communication with that defensive line to see if you can fool them a little bit. And obviously, when you're in there for the first time, you're not doing that. But, that's when it comes to be fun as an offensive lineman, because you can start to, do some gamesmanship, so to speak, working on those defensive linemen, telling them some things, make some calls that you're not going to do it, but you're just going to see how they react, see if you can get them to put them in a favorable position for yourself.
Yeah, and that's where experience comes into play, and we say all the time, the first level of understanding is what to do. When you're first going out there and you're young, you're just trying to figure out what to do, and then you try to figure out, how to do it. What kind of pad level, the technique. How am I supposed to do my job? And the last level is, why. Why am I doing this? And that's to your point. When you get to that level with an experienced guy, that can be the difference between winning and losing. And so Donovan, Seth, Josh, all have a bunch of experience in there. Teggers are getting more and more experience. Zen, has experience in practice, not as much in game, but he has been in the program now for 4 years. So good to have guys that have been around the program for a while in there.
We'll start with some of our Union Home Mortgage inbox questions. Ross in Akron asking about complementary football that you've talked about many times over the years. In your mind, what is the realistic definition / expectation for good complementary football between offense and defensive units?
Well, the first thing is to win, and it's like, we talk a lot about, what are the goals of the offense, what are the goals of the defense. When we get to that fourth quarter and the offense has the ball, go score and win the game. When the defense gets out there, it's got to get a stop. Go get a stop to win the game. And that's complementary football. It doesn't matter what the score is. The score could be 6-3, score could be 65-61. You got to go win the game. So that's the first thing. I think the other thing, though, is just understanding, what you're doing with your opponent. Is it an opponent where you want to get some tempo going and try to, lengthen the game, or do you want to shorten the game based on what's going on? So those are all things that come into play. But at the end of the day, when you're on defense, get off the field. When you get the ball in your hands, go score touchdowns.
Yeah, some coaches will have goals like, hey, we got to run for an average of 4 yards plus, because do the math, 3 times 4, that's a first down. Every time they run defensively, you want to limit them to under 2 yards per carry, because if you do that, then again you get them in third and longs, and you can go out there and make some plays. But all those things are good to they're good to look good on the board and things like that. But then you get the best part of it's the execution part of it.
That's it. And so we break down all the situations. And on Tuesday, we talk about winning the rushing yards on both sides of the ball. We talk about winning first down, which is 4 yards on both sides of the ball. And then we talk about the turnover battle on X plays. Then when you get to Wednesday, now you're talking about third down. And if you do a good job on first down, then obviously third down it becomes more advantageous, whether you're on defense or offense. And then we talk about short yardage, red zone, goal line, and 2 minute. And so those are all the situations that come into play. And so the more you win in those situations, the more you're going to win, and with the big ones being turnovers, rushing yards, and next plays.
It's been easy to ask you about Emeka Egbuka, the way he's played. Is he somebody that just continues to challenge himself as well as face the challenge that the opposition brings to keep making the plays that we're watching him make?
Yeah, it's great to be around somebody who's just a man. He comes out every day and he works, and it's almost like having a coach on the field. We've got a couple guys that are like that. Seth McLaughlin's that way too. Just when they come out in the field, you just feel their presence, and there's no it's very serious when they get out there. They want to get it right, and I think that's a great example for the younger players in our program to see the seriousness, the preparation, and then the execution on the field.
Yeah, he's a graduate, but he's got playing with a freshman in Jeremiah Smith and a sophomore in Carnell Tate, and you can see, getting those guys ready too, making sure they're all on the same page, and having a role model to look up to also helps those young guys too.
Yeah, and it's like anything else in life. When you have somebody like that who's older, you can watch how they have gone through and the mistakes they've made, and it's like wisdom in life, whether it's sitting down speaking with an old coach, in my job, or sitting down talking to a guy who's been in the program for 4 years. You learn from guys who have wisdom, who have gone through things. They've had successes, they've had failures, they've done things, they've learned, and it's foolish if you don't sit down and listen to those guys. Emeka's one of those guys.
Is that something he also brings when he's back there returning kicks, making decisions on whether to field, whether to return, things like that?
Yeah, he's a guy you can trust back there. And we feel like anybody we put back there is somebody that we can trust. But there's a lot of things he's done in our program, and one of them is return kicks. But I think I said that at one point. I don't know what the question is, but the answer was Emeka at one point, during his career, whatever that thing was, whether it was punt, block, returning, blocking, running, he can do it all.
Yeah, I know you spent a lot of time with the scout team working against the defense this week, and I just had a chance to go to practice yesterday, and I was probably as excited as I seen that scout team over there. You're running it, so that kind of brings everybody up to a notch of competition-wise. How did you like spending that time running with the scout team over there?
Yeah, just as hard as I possibly can go out there from when I crossed that scarlet line to when it was over. And I'm asking the coaches to do the same thing and demanding of everybody in the program, just go as hard as you possibly can, coach as hard as you possibly can. Our job is to put our players in the position to be successful and then demand it out of them. And so, spent more time with the defense this week and went down. And it's important the scout team is on point because you can flush out some of the issues. Whether it's pushing the ball down the field and challenging the DBs, or really clean executed play up front where the line is coming off the ball to make sure that the run fits are exactly the way you want them, so that they see it on film, so that it's ahead of the issue. It's the same thing on defense. When the look is really clean on defense and the blitz is hit the right or the coverage is spread out the right way, you give the quarterback a good look, you give the offensive line a good look. You're more prepared to play on that game, the game on Saturday. So. The one good thing is we have this tablet now, so I can actually watch what's going on the other field after the play's done, but still be coaching defense. So technology's helping. So, as I see a play that happens on offense, I can run across the field, address it, come back on defense. So I tried that this week. I got my steps up. I got my yardage up. And I felt like, it's a good week of work for everybody, though. We were working hard. It was edgy. It was a physical practice week, and so now we need a good day here on Thursday.
I noticed you grabbed some of those second-team guys, too, on that offensive line to bring with you. You weren't going to go down there empty-handed. You had a pretty good scout team to go against that defense.
We did. We brought some bullets with us and made sure we gave them a good look, and it was real, and it was good. And, I think those guys like to do that, too. They like to get coached, and I'm there with them, and, defensive guys are feeling that. So we'd bring that second team down for about 5 plays there and then kind of interject that in. And then at the end of practice, then we go 1s on 2s, 2s on 1s, and some also good on good there. So trying to find that right mix of making sure we're getting good on good, but also getting the looks that Nebraska show us.
Can that be a unique skill set for scout team players who one week are mimicking one opponent and then the very next week they're mimicking somebody else that may play completely different?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on our scout team and making sure, first off, the guys understand their roles. If you don't like your role, go really hard, and maybe your role will change. But some guys have to embrace that role going into the season. I think where you can create, issues within the culture is when guys, are going out of the scout team and think that, it's a demotion or something. This is your role right now. You got to embrace it. If you don't like it, just, kick ass, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself not on the scout team. That's it. But while you're there, you got to do a great job. And those are opportunities to go against great players every day. I say that to the left tackle. You get to block JT, or you get to block Tyleek if you're the guard, or you get to get open against, IGB and Denzel every day. Or if you're covering Jeremiah Smith, if you feel like you can cover him, you can cover anybody in the country. What an opportunity. Where else can you get that? And so those scout team players have got to give us a good look. And we have plenty of coaches now that can coach on the field to make sure those looks are accurate.
I remember playing scout team my freshman year, and we'd rather be up with the 1s and 2s, but hey, this is where I am right now. So you go down there and you bring that anger with you a little bit because you want to get after them, and as hard as you can get after those defensive guys. And I remember Glenn Cobb after about 2 weeks says, "Hey, get these guys out of here, get them back over there." But that's what you want. I mean, that's why you're down there, because you want to earn the respect of the defense and have them tell you, hey, no, you need to go with the 1s and the 2s.
And that's the way you play the game, what you just said, angry. I mean, that's just the way the game's supposed to be played. And, I think we've had a bunch of angry people, at practice the last, week here, and it should be that way.
Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day Concert Series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every home game this season outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week features a different artist on stage 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Bucks and beat cancer. And we'll have more of a Coach Day when we continue with our show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Union Home Mortgage's 1% down payment program is like kicking an extra point or scoring a 2-point conversion. You put 1% down, and Union Home Mortgage will kick in up to 2% on the house. Visit UHM.com or call 877-846-4968 today. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,500 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. for auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community. Never done this before by positively impacting families across Ohio. Joint partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus, and supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare. Time now for Inside Access with Kroger. A reminder that Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. As Nebraska comes in, you talked a little bit about defensively what they show you, some multiple looks. What do you see from them on offense, Coach?
So, led by the quarterback, Dylan Raiola, who's a freshman for him, a very, very good player who was once committed here. And he's had a very good season for him, doing a really good job. Combination of 11 and 12. And, they'll also get into some bigger groupings and they've done a nice job with those. And they've, I think have a really good tight end. And, they mix it up between run and pass. So, we got to do a really good job. They got to try to run the ball and throw play action pass. And that's just... they're very well coached. Matt Rule, has a really good plan on how he wants to attack teams, and so we got to do a really good job of making some of the adjustments coming off the last game. We got to get up, got to get lined up, got to get set, and then we got to go play football. And there's some things here that we're gonna take a look at going into this game.
Coach, you've coached with Matt Rule before. You guys are on the same staff at Temple. How is that when you go against a guy that you've worked with before? And, I played against guys that were teammates of mine, and you kind of want to get after them a little bit more, because you do know them, and they want to do the same to you.
Oh, yeah. It was almost 20 years ago now, but, yeah, of course. But he's a very good coach and, has a good staff and has done a really good job everywhere he's been. And so, a lot of respect for him. But yeah, every time you go against somebody like that, you want to win.
Back to our Union Home Mortgage inbox list of questions. Patrick in Kentucky asking, what skill position group from Nebraska do you anticipate the hardest matchup being on Saturday?
I think they have really good wideouts, really good tight end. They like to target a lot. And he probably had the most the best game coming out of the last game. I also think they have good guys in the back end. So I think all the skill positions are very, very good. And but I always say this. It's about us and it's about our technique. And it isn't usually about the opponents we're playing, but they do have good players, and so we got to make sure we know who they all are.
Yeah, it looked like Fedoni, number 24, their tight end, was kind of the escape valve, or so to speak, for Raiola in that last game, against Indiana. He's found him a couple times up there in the seam. where he's at on the field is to determine who's going to be in coverage. If he's out in the flat, maybe a little bit more of a linebacker type. If he gets deep down the seam, more of the safeties who would be covering.
Yeah. It certainly depends on what's going on, but we all need to know where he is because he is a favorite target. Dylan, and so he's a good player. So anytime you can they can get him in a matchup situation, they certainly want to try to do that. So we got to be aware of where he is.
Defensively, they run that, they say 3-3-5, but basically they're 6 in the box, and depending on where they're going to line up. How do you guys make adjustments to that when you see a 3-down line and what they're doing with that third guy in the back?
Yeah, it's an interesting style of play. Iowa State runs it, and there's been some different teams over the years. He's been doing it, everywhere he's been really, most recently. And when you look at it, you'd say, well, they have all these safeties deep, and you just got to run the ball. I think they want you to run the ball. They want so there's yeah, exactly. They have some extra guys that they'll bring down to the box, and so it's built for 11 personnel, and so they do a good job with it. They got good answers for it, and they don't just sit in that one front. They'll move the fronts around and do some different things. So Chip's had some experience against it. Some of the guys on the staff had experience against it. We've dealt with it a few times as well. So, we just got to handle it the right way and make sure that, we're being sound in what we're doing.
And speaking of tight ends, you've had quite a bit of production out of G. Scott as of late, and your tight end group now is affected with Will Kazmarek being out. But if you would just talk about the challenges of that position, all of the things that a tight end has to do and how they are so impactful in what you want to do on offense.
Yeah, we're going to need some guys to step up in that room. But like you said, it's that combination that we talked about blocking like an offensive lineman, running routes like a receiver, and protecting like a running back. But it's also just the physical wear and tear of playing the position over time, where you got to block 280-pound defensive end, and then all of a sudden you got to run a route and get open against a safety, and then you got to continue to come back after running 20 yards and do it again. And to me, it's that emotional, physical maturity over time is where tight ends really start to take that next step. And so good to see a lot of our guys improvement. I think the depth in that room is going to get challenged here. We're not having Will this week.
It seems like Bennett Christian has improved, has stepped up, and you're seeing that out of Jelani Thurman, although we haven't seen him out there as much. But I suppose the second half we'll see some more development out of him.
Going to have to. Yeah, going to have to. Yeah, he's going to have to step up. And that's part of that whole thing about depth is, it's one thing just to say, I'm going to go in a game and play. It's another thing when you have to. You don't have a choice, and so we'll need Jelani here in the second half of the season.
Is that what's unique about what G has done, going from wide receiver to tight end, a move that probably not a lot of people could make, one would guess?
There's in that tight end room, though, that happens. Cade got moved over from linebacker. You hear about different guys who moved over the years, And, so I think that happens because, you usually start as a skill guy, as a receiver, and then you get moved to tight end. Typically, you don't really go from an offensive lineman to a tight end. You usually go the other way. So it does happen that way, and that's why it takes some time, and it's a developmental position.
Coach, offensively, how many new plays would you put in per opponent each and every week? I know you're going to have your bread and butter plays, and you'll run them maybe out a little bit different concepts or formations, but how many new plays would you have installing each for a weekly opponent?
We probably start off with 10 different things that we look at. By the end of the week, it's probably down to 5 or 6, I would say. And certainly, like you said, you have different schemes that maybe you look at in a run game, some different route combinations and things like that. But they're probably right around that number, I would say, for new concepts. Now, you might change up how you do things, but for new things, right around there.
Defensively, the same type of numbers, would you think? Or is the defense more, how they align and react to what the offense is doing?
Yeah, I think probably, there has been in the past, quite honestly, maybe too many calls, and so we need to narrow that down, but make sure that the looks that the defense is getting are multiple enough that we're creating enough confusion so they don't always know exactly where we're coming from.
Does a bye week help you with if you're going to add some things there?
Yeah, it does. And whether add or subtract or re-emphasize. And then the other thing is, you practice some certain things, and sometimes they don't get called in a game, and so you got to make sure that you feel confident calling them in a game and getting them moving forward.
Playing home, you got to love that. You guys have won an average of 48-7 here at home, so I know that these last 4 games you'll have at home. You have 2 on the road. But just for everybody, now the seniors, they can kind of see the sand ticking down the clock, because they get 4 home games left in the shoe, and just all the importance of that. And I know this week's homecoming, a lot of teams coming back, to celebrate, things like that. But just, the emphasis that you have to have in your senior and captain leadership that you need playing at home.
That's it. And, we're excited to get back home and get playing again. And, we want to get ourselves on a roll here in the second half of the season. It starts against Nebraska on Saturday at noon. And, our guys are going to be excited, and I know the fans will be excited to get us back out there. And, I see them feeding off us in this game, the way that we're going to take the field and play fast and play with emotion. And, we'll need them to continue to be loud. The louder they are, the better, we can play. But they're going to see a team that's angry out there on Saturday.
And one of those teams being honored, the 84 Big Ten champs that Jim played on. Buckeye fans, this season, Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, including tickets, sideline passes, Buckeye trips, and more. 3 drawings, 12 prizes. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun, casual joint. More with Coach Day when we continue on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This is Ohio State head football coach Ryan Day, asking you to help provide 2 million meals to feed our community. Just round up at the register today. Every dollar provides 10 meals for neighbors in need. Get in the game and let's tackle hunger.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage, their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Welcome back to our show this week as Ohio State gets ready to take on Nebraska. Coach, you were talking about being back at home. You've changed up your routine a little bit with going downtown rather than here on campus and coming in the way you have. You like how that's just in general fashion gone so far this year?
Yeah, it's been less distractions. I love the Blackwell. They do an unbelievable job. I think it's a great hotel. I think the way they run it is great. I think it's, the beds are awesome. The rooms are great. They do the food, everything about it's great. But for us, it was so close to the action. It was just a little bit distracting for our guys. It was the only thing. So, we feel like we're getting away a little bit, which is good. And I think it's allowed our guys to focus a little bit more.
Nebraska has a pretty good pass rush. They got 17 sacks. It's near the top in the Big Ten. What do they do to get to the quarterback?
They come hard. They bring multiple looks. They move the front, and they sometimes they'll drop 8, sometimes they'll bring 5. Sometimes they kind of mix up the looks. But at the end of the day, they do a lot of twisting, and they come really, really hard with the guys up front, and they continue to come hard. They'll change the windows on the quarterback, and at times force them to hold the ball.
Seemed like Indiana was able to get him with a few of those RPOs, and it seems like they got him this past game with some cutbacks too. That I don't know if they were designed cutbacks, but it looked like they made some hay there.
Yeah, they did a good job of making guys miss in space, and they kept positive runs. I thought they had a good, clean game plan. They just played well.
Next of our questions from our Union Home Mortgage inbox, Brian in Grove City asking about rotations of people on the defensive line. Is there an upside, a downside to having a number of people that you can come in and rotate on that position group?
Yeah, the idea is that you're fresh at the end of the season and a game. That's the idea there, and only the guys that deserve to play should get in the game, though. And I think Larry's always done that. So we'll continue to do that. I feel like some guys have made some progress. I think we've done some different things this week that should help. But the proof will be in the pudding on Saturday.
Yeah, I think, personally, if I was a D lineman, I'd like to wear out my guy, each and every play. I know as an offensive lineman, you kind of like to wear out that defensive lineman. So when you get to that fourth quarter, you have him where you want him, and then you've seen everything that he has.
That's right.
But, I know when they do bring in multiple guys, it's hard because you have to be ready for more different guys. You have to have a scouting report, a book, so to speak, on each guy that comes in there, knowing their pass rush moves. So that does kind of make it a little bit difficult that way.
Yeah, but I'm with you on that, too. I like the idea of getting a feel for the game and, being able to, set guys up and do it the right way that way. But it's also good to keep them fresh because, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the game and of the season.
On that side of the ball, we've seen Caleb Downs really the last 3 games be more prominent, or at least more noticeable to the lay eye with what he's been able to do out there. If you would just talk about what he's brought and what he's sharpened since he's gotten here.
Yeah, he's become really, really active, and you can see the play as he's starting to understand the defense and some of the things that we're doing, and we'll continue to try to do that with him and try to find more and more ways to get him involved in the entire game. He's a very, very good player, and he wants to make an impact on the game. And he does a great job with his preparation. He can do a lot of different things, and so again, now being halfway through the season, we're going to continue to build on that as he's got a great understanding of what we're trying to do.
Coach, how's the competition on that punting? with your punters. I know that you worked through a couple of different guys there. You still where you are right now with that?
Yeah. Yep. We're going to stick with Joe right now, and the other guys are working hard to challenge him, like you said, and so I feel like we could put other guys in the game if we needed to, but I feel like Joe right now deserves to be our punter, and we're going to need him to punt well in those games in the field position, and so we'll keep working on that to get that better. I think the protection's been solid, the coverage has been solid overall, and so that's an important group for us.
How do you divvy up the time, or they divvy up the time, punters and kickers in practice with working on things while the people in the scrimmage plays are working on their things?
Yeah, we usually get that done early on with punt. We try to get out there in specials period, get them loose, get them punting, and then jump right into punt first period of Tuesday on a bloody Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we get into field goal, and then in the body of practice we work on kickoff return, punt return. And so those guys are also during the practice working on other things, as you can imagine.
During training camp, everybody wants to be a punter and kicker because they don't have to do a whole lot physical type stuff. But when the game's on the line, no one wants to be a punter or kicker because that's pressure when you got to go out there and it's up to you to snap, to hold, and then you got to put it between the uprights. So everybody respects that pressure that they have, but during practice times we'd all like to be them.
Well, yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's kind of like a sniper mentality.
Right.
You got one shot, and you got to make sure you can't miss. So it's a different approach than certainly playing another position, but all very, very important.
Sounds good. Coach, thanks as always. All the best comes Saturday with Nebraska.
All right, see you guys Saturday.
That's Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com, an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. When we continue, we'll talk with linebacker Cody Simon on our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Hey, Buckeye fans! As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Join Coach Ryan Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down each week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day, presented by Huntington, airs game days Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and statewide on Bally Sports Ohio. Welcome back to our show this week, and it's our chance to talk with Cody Simon, Ohio State linebacker. I know you've talked about it a bunch before, but if you would, for us, Cody, just relive the honor of being given the Blocko jersey this year.
Yeah, no, that moment, I'll always remember that moment. You know, it was such a special honor. To have your teammates think of you so highly, it was just overcome with emotion. I was just so thankful and so appreciative of my teammates, because I know the guys who came before me and who've worn that jersey. It's such a special moment, so I was just really honored.
And it's a lot. I mean, that's just not from how you play, but it's how you prepare, and how you do in the classroom and all those little things, and showing up, being on time. When you throw that all in together, that's what kind of makes it special.
Yeah, 100%. It really is everything about the program that I try to embrace. I try to be the guy who would try to do everything right, and I always fall short. But to have my teammates notice that, it was just really honored.
If you would talk a little bit, Cody, about the responsibility of a linebacker, all the different things you have to see, how you have to communicate that to everybody else, and then just all of the positions you find yourself having to be in.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. I appreciate the coaches for trusting me with that responsibility. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on that you have to take responsibility for and you have to control. And it's like being the quarterback of the offense, but you're just on defense. And so, I try to take that role and run with it and try to be in front of every check and anticipate the plays that might come. And so that's really the battle of being a linebacker, just trying to be able to anticipate and be ready for everything.
How have you tried to help out the two freshmen, Peyton Pierce and Garrett Stover, both kind of learning their roast plays on special teams, things like that, but how have you tried to influence those guys in your room?
They're great curious learners. I'd say Peyton and Garrett, they both want to learn so much. They want to get active in the linebacker room. They're really physical, and they come downhill. So when we watch them in practice, when they get their reps, they're going hard as they can. And they're learning a lot. Even if you're doing scout stuff, you're still learning all that first team defense stuff. So they're always ready. They're always preparing like we are, and they're trying to get ready to go. And you got a coach in James Laurinaitis, 3-time All-American, and I know he was involved last year, but now it's his job, it's his role. How has that been for James? No, he's the best. He prepares us better than I've ever been prepared before, and he brings that element of realism because he's been there before. He can tell you where you like a position where you might be in, but you could work another way or find a different vision to make a play. And he's just been really helpful to be able to just visualize and put yourself in that game before you're actually in that game.
Cody, when you're looking at an opposing team on film, what are some of the things at first that you look for that you try to make part of your game plan?
You really look at tendencies. Our coaches help us a lot with that type of stuff. First down is different than third down, different than second and short. We try to pick up on all those little things, and the team like Nebraska, they're going to be they're good. They run the ball hard, and we just got to do what we do the best we can, and then trust our coaches. They'll get us in the right position. You're looking a lot at the guards, hands, and things like that. I know the defensive ends are looking at those type of things too, and the T tackles. But you want to keep those guys off you, so you're trying to probably pick up some pre-snap looks from those guys. 100%. That's at every offense too. Any little help you can get to play faster and be ahead of the game, it always helps.
What's it like to play behind that defensive line group, and how you can make your plays playing off of them?
Yeah, it makes our job all easier. Tyleek and Ty and on the ends, they clean up everything for us, and we just try to do our best behind them because not a lot of defense because their D tackles make a lot of tackles, and when they do, it's it makes our job so easy. So. I don't think people realize that enough. When your D tackles are that good, they impact the game so much. You came from New Jersey. You already get 1 degree, and I know you're working on a master's right now. Not right now. I'm working on a second degree. I'm planning about coming back. Yeah, later in life, probably go get another degree though. Wow, man, that's awesome. Yeah. So how has that whole experience been for you? Yeah, school is something that's really important in my life. Ever since growing up, my mom and my parents have always been on me. My brother, he's probably the smarter one of my family, but I just know I try to take my school as seriously as I do my football. And I've had a lot of help along the way, though, just with teachers and friends and just being able to, take your school as seriously as your football. I think it's really important for us.
When you're in a building like this, when you're in a stadium like Ohio Stadium, is that something that just makes this experience all that much more special for you, Cody?
Oh, yeah. I got adopted into the Ohio State Brotherhood, and coming from New Jersey, it's not many people come to Ohio State, but luckily as I was getting recruited, a couple people were here like Javante and even Jordan Fuller. He helped me, and you really understand that brotherhood, and you start to internalize it, and I think I've done that, and I appreciate I wouldn't have made any other decision because I love it here. It's the best place I've ever been. Have you been helping out with Jalen McClain too? Because he's a New Jersey guy, trying to show him a little bit of love. Yeah, no, he's a great player. He's such a young guy, but he's had such an impact so far. Even in camp, he was balling. So. He's gonna have a really bright future here. I can already tell because he's a freshman and he's making plays all over the field right now.
After a bye week, I'm sure you guys are just ready to have a game to play, correct?
Yeah, I would have had one last week if we could, but yeah, it's been a lot of preparation, and we're just getting ready to go.
Well, Cody, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. All the best Saturday against Nebraska.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
That's Ohio State's Cody Simon. Join us Saturday as the Buckeyes host Nebraska. We'll be on the air from Ohio Stadium beginning at 10:30 a.m. The Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio. For Skip Mossick, Colin Behringer, for Jim Lachey, Coach Ryan Day, as well as Cody Simon, this is Paul Keels. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Super Sale is back Friday and Saturday only at Meijer. Shop super low prices on game day and tailgate favorites like Hillshire Farm Little Smokies, just $3.49. Fresh from Meijer vegetable or fruit trays. Buy one, get one for $1. And hell of a good refrigerated dips. Buy one, get one free. Shop super low Meijer prices while supplies last. And get the same prices in-store and online. Shop the Meijer Super Sale this Friday and Saturday only. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Thank you for calling Great Lakes. Great Lakes Kia.
Do you like scary movies?
Nah, they don't scare me.
What does scare you?
High car payments. They make me want to scream.
And at Great Lakes Kia?
We have brand new Kias under $5 a day. Come pick one out.
Maybe I'm already here.
Cool. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV6 Wind, and Sorrento LX. All three under $5 a day.
That's only $139 a month for 24 months.
Plus new 24 Kia Telluride LX under $8 a day.
$249 for 24 months.
At Great Lakes Kia.
What if I have scary credit?
No problem. Get approved with 0% financing.
Perfect. And I'm right behind you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus, GreatLakesKia.com.
Can I hang up now?
To qualify